Comedian Ari Shaffir is going to be at Hilarity's 4th Street Theater. Let's bring him in, and we'll talk to him. I don't think we've ever had him on the show before, Dieter.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's ever been on the show. Good
up,
morning.
guys?
How are you, my man?
Great. How are you?
How you doing?
How are your sweatshop shoes?
Pirate Cat Radio is a T-shirt that you have on. I don't even know what that means.
It's an old radio station in San Francisco. It's a free shirt.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, we'll give you some free Rovers Morning Glory stuff. That is, when you travel, when you're a comedian, you probably get all sorts of free crap that people give you.
Yeah, you realize at some point you're like, wait, you guys definitely have some swag here. And then you just go and raid the closets.
I have stuff like we get stuff that movie companies will send us, movies that they bomb, I still have a T-shirt 10 years later for weird movies, and I wear them sometimes.
And people are like, what is that movie? And you're like, I kind of don't know.
I have no idea.
Brad says hello.
What's that?
Brad says hello.
Brad Kreischer? Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. I hear you're good friends with him.
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the people I'm trying to get out of my life all the time.
I don't know if you're still banned from Twitter, but I read something that said you got banned from Twitter for threatening Bert Kreischer. Is that true?
That's right.
Are you still banned
from
Twitter?
No, they let me back on eventually.
What happened?
Because I told him what was going to happen, which is I was going to home invade his family and take over his life. I predicted the future, and Twitter's like, that's a threat. I'm like, that's not a threat. It's a promise, Twitter.
Do you think Twitter did that? Was there an algorithm or something that banned you automatically, or did people have to say, oh, this guy's making a threat against Bert Kreischer?
I'm not positive. Rogan says it's because if I lean right at all, then you get marked as someone they don't protect.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
They only protect if you're left leaning. You're
totally good.
You can do whatever you want.
Threaten anyone's life. But I had to explain to them what irony is. When I said I'm going to kill him and home, that's my friend. That's not a real threat.
Right.
And they're like, no, it's a threat of violence. I'm like, but it's not a threat of violence because that's not my intention at all.
How does one even get unbanned from Twitter? Do you take up the cause yourself? Do you have
I tried.
A publicist, an agent, an attorney, someone that has to...
An agent had to do it.
Really?
If I didn't have an agent, I'd still be banned. They kept just saying, I'm like, can you explain to me what I'm doing?
How do you even get a hold of Twitter, for instance?
They just the bots kept writing back sorry, threat of violence, sorry, threat of violence. I'm like, can you give me a real answer? Just sorry, threat of violence. I'm like, this is automated.
Yeah. One time we travel a lot for the show, and two of the guys were in an Uber.
Yeah.
And on my credit card, of course. And they got out of the Uber, and the Uber driver said that they had, what'd you do? You left mud?
We have mud everywhere. And I was like, I left mud? Like, how do I didn't remember I was staying in a parking lot. There's no mud around. And I said, can you send me a picture of what I did? And there's 3 grass clippings in there, 3 blades of grass in the back of the car. I'm like, what? How do you even know those are my blades of grass that I brought in? Like, what are you talking about?
So then I appeal to Uber, and that's immediate. That's exactly the same thing. You go, hey, let me appeal this, and you just get a canned, automated robot response.
Can I have an actual person look at it now? Because I'm saying it's not true. Yeah. And then, right, exactly. And you're like, it's so frustrating.
I don't think I ever got my money back for that. My $14 is gone. It still pisses me off to this day.
And you're like, mud? And then you want to be like, just go ahead and keep that. That's for you, buddy.
But that's what Uber, I've heard that some of these Uber drivers will... they'll say, oh, this person puked on my car. They did whatever because Uber will charge you like $150 cleaning fee, which then goes right to that driver. So if you're from out of town or whatever, they have some sort of scam going.
My favorite new scam of Uber is when you call an Uber and they just don't come. They just keep driving around going somewhere else. And eventually you have to cancel and they charge you the $5. And they just wait
I've had that happen. I also had one where I was in some little town in New York, and they Binghamton, New York, as a matter of fact, and they said that they picked me up. I was at one restaurant, and I was going to a fan meetup at a bar, about 2 miles away, and they said they picked me up and dropped me off. I appealed that, and again, I got an automated response. No, our records show you were picked up, and I kept on that.
I know your records show that, but I'm saying that's not what happened.
And then I go, why would I? If I went there, why would I then call another Uber like 3 minutes later from the first place?
How did I get there?
Yeah, it's just so.
Dude, I had one time we were driving in an Uber, and then his phone rings. The driver.
Yeah.
He's like, "What? And he's like, "What's your name?" I'm like, Ari. He goes, "Oh." He goes, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I picked up somebody else."
Wrong person.
Yeah. And I was like, to ask them where they're going if it's nearby. I'm like, just take mine. I'll just take yours. It's pretty much the same difference.
What'd you do to your arm? You're in some sort of cast.
Yeah, Jews trying athletic endeavors, which is a mistake.
Well, you're somewhat athletic. I hear you were one of the world's worst NCAA
How's that getting out in
athletes.
Cleveland? That's the second. No one's ever asked
I
me about
have
that.
all sorts of researchers here.
By the way, you ruined Bert getting that tour bus.
Oh
yeah, you put that idea in his head.
He came on our bus and he's
such
like,
a pompous mother
I
F.
need this. His eyes lit up. It was like a kid in a candy store, and he's like,
Yeah.
I want this. And I go, I don't know how much money. Bert Kreischer, I think, is making a ton of money now. But a few years ago, I'm sure he's making a comfortable living like 3 years ago, right? He's doing pretty well. But I told him, I go, we bought this bus. It was new, and I go, they lease these, and they're, like this one is like $30,000 a month to lease, but you could get one for like 15 if you want. And he's like, oh yeah, I can swing that. I'm going to do this. I go, okay. And now he loves it.
His wife is constantly putting her head in her hands, just like, ugh, Bert, we have kids to feed.
Now, she never goes with him on the tour bus.
I think she's going to Australia with him.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she doesn't go with him.
I just talked to him. He's overseas. He was on the show the other day. He called in.
From overseas?
Yeah. And
that's cool.
I go, is your wife with you? He's like, hell no. I'm going into a strip club right now. Does his wife, now you know him well.
Uh-huh. His wife hates me sometimes.
Does his wife, I don't know. I don't know them. I mean, Bert comes on the show a lot.
She's great.
I wonder, does she get sick of his shenanigans?
Yes.
Okay, she does.
Oh, so much. Yeah. The awfulness he's invited into her life.
Yeah.
In the form of me and other people.
But in a way, she can't complain too much because all he has to do is go, this is what puts food on the table.
Yeah. Enjoy your garage door opener. That kind of craziness. You pay for that.
Yeah. Now you're a single guy, I think. I don't know for sure. Are you?
Yeah.
What I do is my wife is a big fan of comedy. So if we have a comedian, I just started doing this like 2 months ago.
Doing what? Radio?
Yeah. Can you tell?
You're killing it, man. You're really taking it.
No, I would ask her. She's a big fan of comedy. I mean, she just consumes it through Pandora and Netflix. Like she's seen every special. She's seen she just knows everyone, everything.
Yeah, I got a special on that.
Everything. And so now a couple months ago, I go, I'm going to have a guy come in. I'll ask, what's this guy all about? If I don't know his routine. And so like Josh Wolf has been coming on the show for years, but I've never seen a stand-up.
Right.
He's a funny guy on the show. He's a great guest. So I asked her like a month ago, I go, Josh Wolf, tell me about him. She goes, in like one sentence encapsulated, pot smoking dad. That's his whole routine.
That's about right.
I go, okay. So I was walking out the door today. She hands me my breakfast to eat on the way, and I go, Ari Shaffir on the show. Tell me about him. Known for just plowing chicks. Got a vasectomy because he doesn't want to knock up some whore who's going to take him for child support.
That's right.
And he plows a bunch of chicks, but not the best looking guy.
Dude, I have no problem at all with that. Sherrod Small.
Is this accurate?
Yeah, Sherrod Small is comic in New York. He's always like, you what's the F? I'll just say that. Sorry, it's radio. He goes, you F out of your league, man. It's not fair.
Now, did you get a vasectomy?
I did. I was really scared of like knocking up some chick in Kansas.
Yeah. And you're going to be stuck forever paying child support.
Yeah, and it's like I know myself at this point. I make too many mistakes.
Yeah.
If a condom's all the way across the room, probably not going to go get it.
So you go on tour. You're in all over the country. It's great because it's just a new pool of women everywhere you go to, and they come up to you.
It's crazy. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I was a virgin until I was 23, so it's like that's the version of me that I grew up in.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You were a virgin until you were 23.
I was Orthodox Jewish for a while.
Yeah.
So at first I wasn't even trying.
So this is
like
I
didn't know how.
I went to my lawyer, of course. Stereotype is a Jew.
That's when you're doing well.
And he's not Orthodox, but his wife and kids are. Now I don't know if that causes internal friction there, but so I went to this wedding. His daughter got married, and I didn't, I don't know.
Separate seating and stuff?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's legit. That's my world.
It was weird. Like we walk in and, she wasn't my wife at the time, but we walk in and they're like, oh no, she's got to sit over there. And then the whole thing, like they have a
second-class citizen
They have
stuff.
a dance floor cut right down the middle of the dance floor, and men are on one side and women are on the other, dude.
That's crazy.
It's friggin' insane. And then
it's crazy, but it's also kind of nice because you don't have to worry about impressing anybody or trying to find a girl to dance with or feeling left out. You just dance in that circle. Did you do the circle dance?
I didn't do the circle dance.
You missed out.
I'm like I'm like the kind of guy. I try to like stay in the corner and not get involved in stuff. I'm not like a real outgoing guy. The other two things about this, which maybe I'm sure you must be aware of. So we're at this wedding, and she goes, oh, this woman's wearing a wig, and I'm like, oh, that's so sad, a cancer victim, she's getting chemo or something. And then we're looking, and she's like, that one has a wig on too, and I'm like, are you sure they're wigs? She's like, trust me, that's a wig.
Cancer's going around.
Guys I can't pick up. Like, she'll tell me, oh, that hair is fake, this is fake, that's fake. I go, I don't know, it looks real. So eventually all the women are wearing wigs, and we realize they're not cancer patients. There's some weird thing where they can't show their hair.
You want to know what it is?
Yes, what is it?
So I know about all this. So you can't cover your neighbor's wife, right? It's Jews love loopholes. That's what you should know. That's why we're good lawyers. We look for loopholes and we exploit them. So the thing you covet, one of the things is hair, is an attractive quality. So they're like, if you're married, cover that up. And these Jewish women went looking for loopholes. So they're like, can we cover our hair with a baseball cap? And the rabbis were like, sure. And they were like, anything. And they're like, sweet. Can we cover up our hair with someone else's hair? And they were like, where are you going with this? And he goes, they're like, let's go to China and find Chinese people's hairs. And then, so it's not us you're coveting, it's Sung Lee from Shanghai.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the rabbis were like, well played.
Score, you got it. And then,
that's all it is.
Loopholes, I learned this too. There's one area of town, there's a lot of Jewish people that live on the east side here. And
probably nice houses there.
Yeah, you think? Yeah. And they have, someone told me, I've never noticed it, but they have some sort of markings, like on, I don't know if it's
on the door,
poles or signs. Like there's some thing on, like maybe it's Sabbath or whatever, where you're not allowed to go outside of the community or outside your neighborhood. So what they did was
loophole.
They just go, oh, we're going to put these markers up, like between our house and the mall or whatever, and that's essentially my yard in theory, or whatever the hell it is.
You can't carry things outside of a walled city.
Yeah.
Because it's like traveling is a problem on the Sabbath. So like, but in a walled city, it's okay. So Jerusalem, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
So loophole, they're like, what if we just put like a wire all the way around? They're like, walled city, it counts. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. I mean, that's all it is. It's nuts when you think of it from the outside in.
And the last thing,
that's cool that you know
I'll bring
about
up
this
to
stuff.
You about this marriage. So we're sitting there, and they have an open bar, but we get done with this ceremony. They're doing all the the ceremonial this and that, whatever, and I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm like, all right, let's get this food going, let's get this drink going. And then there's this long delay, and we're waiting, and I'm like, just from an entertainment standpoint, it's weird. Like we should get to it. You don't want too much downtime here. I didn't know until a few days later, when my audience alerted me to this, that the married couple, after the ceremony, they go in a little room and they consummate the marriage. Yeah. They have sex in this little room. I go, is that insane? Like, the father of the bride knows my daughter's getting pounded out right now.
In the wedding dress, lifted up.
Really?
I mean, you can go all the way naked, but that takes a long time to put back on.
I mean, that's. I had no idea. This is eye-opening experience.
It's technically enough time that if you wanted to do it, you could, but a lot of them don't do it. But I would, especially if you're one of those virgins. Like, I've been waiting a long time for this.
So that's why you were a virgin until you were 23.
Yeah, religion.
And what happened at 23? Did you
put my
abandon
penis inside
religion?
A vagina, and it felt wonderful.
You go, wow, why did I wait 23 years to do this?
Like, oh, I see what everyone's talking about. Dude, I used to tell my friends in college, I was like, masturbation's the same as sex. It's an orgasm's an orgasm. Like, you're wrong, Ari. I'm like, no, you're wrong. The penis does that. And then I had sex. I was like, guys, I owe you an apology.
Yeah, you guys were right.
Yeah.
So at 23, did you abandon your religion?
I abandoned it at 21.
Yeah.
I was like, I realized I didn't believe in God, and then I was like, oh, that's probably a big part of this.
How do you bring that up to your parents?
It was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they my dad especially, Holocaust survivor, Orthodox Jew.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, and his response was, "What do you mean you don't believe in God? Even a dog believes in God. You must be lower than a dog."
You're kidding me.
He was like disappointed.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I thought about it. I was like, what research are you quoting on dog belief in theology? Like, what?
Now, so he's very disappointed in you. Ari Shaffir is here with us, and he'll be at Hilarities tonight and all this weekend. I'll give you the details on how to get tickets. Is that something that he gets over, or maybe doesn't get over, but becomes accepting of you? I mean, because some people, you leave a religion, Amish, whatever, they just, you're out. They don't talk to you anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of Orthodox Jews, my sect, and bigger than me. There's a prayer you said for dead relatives, like if your dad dies for about a year, if your son dies, whatever. And a lot of people, if their kid marries a non-Jew, they'll say that prayer for the dead for them. And you can ask them. I've had relatives in my family. And you're like, how's Andrew? Like, I don't know any Andrew. I'm like, what? Like, there's a lot of Andrews in the world. I don't know what you're talking about. Like your son. Like, a lot of people have sons named Andrew. It's not me.
Really?
Dude, it's legit. But, I mean, yeah, he had to come to terms with it.
Yeah.
So my brother and sisters were screwing with my dad. Because he eventually was like, I accept it,
Yeah.
And so like, what would you do if Ari brought home a non-Jewish chick? And he was like struggling with it, but he's like, it would tear me apart, but he's still my son, no matter what. He's still my son. I still love him. I would hate it, but he'll always be part of the family. They're like, wow, Dad, that's really big of you. And then my brother goes, what would you do if Ari brought home a black chick? And he goes, now you're being stupid. Dude, if you could have smelled my finger 2 weeks ago.
So he's okay with you.
He's okay with me now.
I'm assuming so you went to college. I'm assuming when you told them, what was worse, when you said, I don't believe in God, or I want to be a stand-up comic for my career?
They had already given up on me at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were worried about that more. So like, how are you going to make a living in this? Especially the path in stand-up comedy is be poor for 10 years.
Right.
But then once I was like on TV, they were like, they could brag to their friends like he was on television.
Yeah.
And so like, oh, okay, cool. He's not like an embarrassment.
Yeah.
They care, like, so they'll come see me sometimes, and I'm filthy sometimes. It used to be way worse back then. But as long as people were laughing, they're like, oh, he's a success.
Yeah.
So they didn't really care that I was talking about, hooking up with chicks with herpes or something. As long as like people were laughing, they're like, he's doing it.
So when you're doing these chicks, you're traveling around.
Doing chicks, I love that.
You're not wearing a rubber.
No, I mean, now I do.
Yeah.
I feel like, when you take a long road trip and you speed the whole way, and then you get off the highway at home, you're like, let me go the speed limit now.
Yeah.
If I get a ticket now, it'd be the worst.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Now, do you...
But I have messed up here or there, So it's like...
And that's why you got a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Is because you don't want to knock up a chick. I mean, that would be... And you're probably making a decent living at this point in your career.
Now, yeah.
And
I just don't want kids.
It's essentially just they would wipe you. I mean, not wipe you out, but you don't want to be paying 30% of your income or whatever to.
Just don't want to have to go back to these towns to deal with some brat.
Yeah.
That I wish so got aborted.
Have you had? If you're not using rubbers, what kind of STDs have you had in your life?
Chlamydia.
Yeah, I had that too when I was 20 years old. They still bring it up to this day.
Douche every day,
I admitted that one time, and now it's like...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, to me, chlamydia is the I'll let you off with a warning of STDs.
Yeah, that's the easiest one, huh?
Where you're like, it hits you home. You're like, this could have been worse.
Yeah.
Start righting the ship. Yeah, chlamydia is a good one.
So you had that.
Genital warts.
No kidding. Do you ever get rid of that, or does it?
It does, and then it just kind of like goes away.
Okay.
And then never comes back at some point.
How do you notice that? You look down.
They're so small.
Yeah.
You see horror stories, untreated ones, and it's just like it looks like, the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so you go to the doctor. You have to.
Two options.
Yeah.
You put this cream on it, and it takes a long time, or you take liquid like nitrogen or something, dry ice, and you just burn them off. Yeah.
So which did you do?
Gone both ways.
Okay.
I really want to do all the methods so I can really speak to it. You can't try one restaurant in town and say what the cuisine is like.
All right. So chlamydia, genital warts. Are we at the end of the list?
One time, this lady had this thing. It's kind of like genital warts, but now it's called molluscum contagium.
Okay.
And if skin to skin contact, you will get it. So, but I really wanted to hook up with her so bad.
And what is that exactly?
I think it looks like warts, but it's less. It doesn't come back ever. It's just like there's no roots to it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hook up so bad. And so we figured out skin-to-skin contact. So I was like, I'll wear a condom. I'll pull my dick out through my...
Hold on, I got to...
Damn it, really?
I
paused.
That. That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, D. I'll go with D. Sorry.
All right, so you're going to pull it out from what?
Out of the hole in the underwear, wear a condom so there's no exposed skin. And you get it done, Rover. That's the thing. You get it done.
And so did you come off without any molluscum contagion, whatever it was?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I should have gotten worse.
Now, did she warn you in advance?
Yeah, she did.
Or did she,
like,
or were you down there and you go, whoa, what's that?
No, she told me, and I was like, hold on, well, break it down. What exactly? How does it transmit?
This has got to be one hot piece of
she was
ass.
So hot.
This has got to be, hot. I mean, a 10 out of 10, because for anyone else, like, okay, take a celebrity. Who do you really, if you could have, whatever, any chick in the world, model, whatever, who would it be?
My number one chick, maybe the girl from Mike and Molly.
Mike and Molly, the fat girl?
Joking. Yeah,
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. If I knew the name, would have been better. Let me think. Hottest chick, like what's her name in her pride that married Brad Pitt that just got divorced?
Jennifer Aniston?
No.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Okay,
in her prime, that was like, damn.
So you'd like her. What if...
Dude, how bad must Jennifer Aniston feel where you're like, I'm hot. Like, he dumped you for a way hotter chick. Like, what? I'm one of the hottest people in the world. Like, wrong. Beat it, loser.
If let's say you and Angelina Jolie meet at, you're in L.A., you meet at one of these Hollywood parties. I'm sure celebrities are all hanging out, intermingling. It's, all very... cool.
Yeah.
There.
I'll put myself in this position. So go ahead, hit me.
So you hit it off and you take her home, and right before you're about ready to do it, she goes, "Listen, there's something I got to tell you. Brad Pitt gave me the HIV."
Oh,
she's like, "But I really want to sleep with you, Ari. You're so hot. I love your comedy, Ari Shaffir. Let's do it." So you got Angelina Jolie. Now you can wear rubber if you know.
Okay.
Do you go through with it?
I mean, it's tough because if your mind's on it, it's gonna be tough to really perform well. You see death down there. Instead of like,
the Grim Reaper just coming out of her vagina with that sickle.
I think I'll be like, I'll go slowly.
Yeah.
I'll just like in and out real slow.
Yeah. So you don't tear the rubber or anything like that. You would go through with it for your...
I mean, one time this chick told me, I used to have a bit about it, but this chick told me like right before sex that she had herpes. And it was the first time I'd ever come in contact with anybody like that.
Yeah.
She goes, I haven't had an outbreak. I didn't know what that was. I didn't have time to research it.
Yeah.
But I was like, the bit was she told me, and this is the truth too. I haven't done it for so long, so it's fine. But she told me after we had sex, which I thought was wrong. And by after we had sex, I mean she told me right before, where there's no way I'm not doing it. I'm already in the mindset,
And you went through with it.
Yeah.
You did not get the herp?
Did not get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're limited to 3.
You only got chlamydia?
That's it. Yes.
You ever think like, this should have been worse?
Oh my God. Have you ever had an AIDS test? Like I've had an AIDS test before, and
so
a few times. And the doctor, they're so nonchalant about it. Like they you go in, you ask about it, they go, "Are you gay?" You go, "No." Okay, you're gonna be fine. But in your mind, you're like, "Oh man," and you're thinking of all these chicks. You go, you don't even know their names. You're like, that chick one time, it was closing time, it was 2:00, and I took her home, the fat girl. And you start you don't get the results for like a week or whatever, but that week you're sweating bullets, man, and you're like, oh please, dear God.
Oh my God, you get that call and you're like, now it's go time. It could go either way.
Yeah.
One time, so I asked Planned Parenthood, they're like, if it does come positive, you come back because we go a deeper test to let you know for sure. If it doesn't mean you necessarily have it. And I was like, and I wasn't worried at the time. I was worried about other stuff. Nobody really gets AIDS.
That's
yeah. But
I've had people tell me that, but
I mean, Sam Kinison used to have a joke about it. Like, straight people get AIDS too. And he goes, name one. But they go, actually, I go, does anyone ever come back and it's not HIV? And she goes, no, it's always. we just want you in here so you don't commit suicide. We can get walking through it. Yeah, it's so worrisome though.
Yeah.
When you're like, here it comes, the result.
Yeah.
Like, how's this gonna go?
Ari Shaffir is here with us. I'm going to take a break. You can stick around, right? For a few more minutes. He's good friends with Bert Kreischer. The other thing
I hate Bert Kreischer.
You hate him.
Yeah.
You hate him. The other thing my wife told me as I was walking out the door, I go, give me your 1 cent thing. It was 2 cents. It's for you. And she goes, oh, yeah. He's good friends with Bert Kreischer, Joe Rogan, and some other guy. I forget who it was. She's like,
Segura, maybe.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't remember. She's like, they're like four, the four butt buddies there.
Hey, can I suggest a segment for you?
Sure.
Rover's Morning Glory Hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you line up a few guys and then try to have someone pick out who's.
All right. All right, you in? You gonna participate?
Oh, for sure.
All right, coming up in 30 minutes. We did a game one time on the show. It's called Match the Snatch.
Oh.
And we had these 6 girls come in, and they all took photos of, we had a producer take Polaroid photos of their vaginas. And then we all and then they all put their clothes back on. They came in here. We looked at the 6 photos, and we all tried to match whose vagina matches what girl.
Whoa.
And how'd you do, Dieter? That was so long ago. I don't remember how well I was able to pick these girls.
I think it was harder than you think.
Yeah.
I don't think I got many. Maybe one.
Because it was like zoomed in. You couldn't see their thigh or anything because that would sort of give it away. I mean, it was just zoomed in and
just a separated vagina.
Yeah.
What a weird non-sexual thing.
And then a girl, I was shopping at a department store like 2 or 3 years later, and I put my stuff up there. She goes, "Do you remember me?" I go,
"Uh-oh."
And I'm racking my brain. I'm like, "Oh man, I must have knocked this chick up or something." And I'm like, refresh my memory. I'm sorry. She goes, "Yeah, I was in the match your snatch contest." I'm like, "Oh." I go, oh, hi, okay, all right. And she goes, "Yeah. You told me my vagina looked like a closed-up earring hole." And I'm like, okay.
That's nice for a vagina.
Yeah.
Nice. You should have matched it with smell.
Yes, dude.
Just blindfold.
I could tell.
We also did a game where we had to match the poop, if you remember.
Oh, match poop to a person.
Yes. There it is.
What is the
disgusting.
6?
That is disgusting.
That's the one that pisses me off. Number 6.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, by the way,
it's
this
shaped like the question mark.
This is, I believe, when Burger King had some sort of Whopper, the Black Whopper that would turn your poop green, and everyone was taking pictures of their poop.
Yeah, but
and posting it on Twitter.
Number 5 is like you have some browners and some greeners. That doesn't make any sense. 7 makes sense to me. It's all that. But
I don't like
5
number
is
6. It's like a scorpion's tail.
Yeah, 5 and 6 are really problematic.
Actually, I think all 1 through 7 are problematic. This is gross.
One of my favorite things to do is go to a friend's house and use the bathroom and just don't flush. And they find out later, like, mother F, they'll text you and you're like, oh, what?
Or you go over to someone's house, you flush, and then it like
cast away.
It like comes back up somehow.
Survivor.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I'll even do that in my own home. Like, I don't want my wife taking a look at my dump or whatever. You flush, everything goes down, and then I come back like the next day, and there's like a full-on dump in there, and I go, well, wait a second.
Did it breed?
Did she take a dump and not flush? I can't believe it. I've never even heard her fart. It just doesn't even, it can't be true. Then I go, well, did I not flush? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, is it like a floater comes back up?
Yeah. I've had like full, and like toilet papers come, it looks all clogged up and disgusting, and I don't know what's going on.
How does it make its way back up
I don't know. You'd think physics would, I have no idea.
All the water goes away.
Yeah.
For a second.
Yeah.
What's it cleaning?
I have no idea. Ari is known, the first time I had ever heard your name was The Amazing Racist.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess you'd probably agree was sort of most people's introduction to you, would you say?
First thing, a lot of times now people were like, wait, that was you?
Yeah.
Because it is, for 14-year-old boys,
yes,
it has become like the rite of passage.
Yes.
Where you're like, this is the internet?
The first one, and I don't know what the first one that you did was. What are you?
You have one.
Oh,
I have my
one?
favorite one. This is the one. Was this before YouTube?
This was pre-YouTube.
Yeah,
it was one of the first viral videos. Once YouTube started, it got ripped to YouTube. And
yeah, because I remember watching
this
on whatever weird website like.
When it was like justmeat.com.
Yeah,
and like,
something like this is the
E-Bombs World.
E-Bombs World.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. What great radio where you can see actual deaths and stuff.
Yeah.
Not radio. I mean like YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me. All right.
that was
So
fun
just play
times.
this, Charlie.
This is the one I remember is the one that sticks out in my memory.
We're all over there looking for work. There's none of them here like legally.
So he's
So
driving.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over there and with them a little bit.
Look at No Bald Spot Ari.
Look at them over there, just standing there, like animals. Oh, let me
Where is
work,
this?
let me
Outside
work.
of Home Depot or something?
Yeah.
And you're gonna pick up a bunch of Mexicans.
Hopefully one of them will speak English. Otherwise, I don't know how to communicate with them. This is gonna be fun.
doing
Hey,
good.
how you guys doing?
You looking for some workers?
Yes, we are.
How much?
I am. About $60 for the day.
Okay.
Is that good? I need you guys to build. Yeah. Okay. Good job. I need help to build a deck.
Okay, está bien.
Does that work?
Vamos.
So I'll take all you guys. Yeah, just hop in. Just hop in.
All right, so they
So
all get
wrong.
in. All the Mexican
Oh, yeah.
laborers get into
Radio.
the back of his pickup truck.
Oh no, not in the front. I washed the cab. I need you guys to get in the back. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
So evil.
Now, by the way, I used to live in Southern California and Las Vegas. People may not realize that this is like in every here. This is not
Totally
a common
normal.
thing. In there, it's
not-
normal.
they
Like
don't
if
do
you're
that
moving, you just go to Home Depot, you pick up some Mexicans, and they'll bust
They
it out
go
in an
there
hour and a
to
half.
work. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't see it. I didn't see the bump.
He's going fast over speed bumps.
Sorry.
in the back of the pickup.
The great thing about beaners is they are always willing to work. Always. That's what they're good at. They're good at working and having babies. They think they're coming over to my house to fix my deck. What they don't know is that we're not going to my house. We're going somewhere else. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but we'll be there in a minute. Oh, sorry, this worked. Sorry. You guys okay?
Estás perdido, güey. ¿Vas a comprar comida?
Okay, yeah. I don't know what the you just said. Macarena! Something like that. I don't know. So we're almost there. You get ready for this.
I am now pulling up to the INS building in Van Nuys, California.
¡INS! ¡La migra! There's 6 of them right here! I got them!
So they all scatter. They all run away. The one I remember, the first one that I saw was you in a KKK outfit in the robe and the hood at a gas station going up to black guys asking with the gas can saying, hey, they're pumping gas. Hey, can I get some gas?
Yeah. Dude, this was so out there.
Now,
at the
people
time.
didn't know, people didn't know you. They didn't
No,
know
not
what
at
this.
all.
They just thought this is some crazy guy.
And I made the mistake of going, hi, my name is Ari Shaffir, and I'm the amazing racist.
The one that I saw was the gas station. It was just like the clip. There was no intro. There was nothing. It was just you going up to the people, and people had no idea who it was.
In Compton.
And then people are like, what is this guy, insane? Or
I had a giant cross, and I was like, oh, I forgot gas. And I was like, I'm out of money. Do you mind give me a little gas?
And then I
Let's soak
saw,
this in.
as part of my research, I saw that, then I didn't know you made a bunch of these amazing racist videos. And the production value sort of went up later. Like it had like an intro graphic and everything.
Yeah. So go ahead.
What was the genesis of this?
So they called the Comedy Store. My friend Duncan Trussell was a comic. He was as the talent coordinator at the Comedy Store then. And I was like an assistant or just like working the phones. We were all just starting comics.
Yeah.
And they called the Comedy Store looking for a Jewish comedian to do this thing called The Amazing Racist, National Lampoons. And they had this real light idea of what they wanted to do, which is like say a couple racist things.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Jeff Ross, and he was like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, who's the next Jewiest? It's like, oh, Ari, it's Ari. And so I was like, and I was just so young and brash, but I was like, yeah, let's do it, but we're going to do it. Let's go for it.
Let's take it up a notch.
And they're like, what do you mean? It was like, we just started brainstorming, like, what's the most horrible things we can do? Let's do that. And so it was like dress in a Klan outfit and take it to get dry cleaned in Compton. I have a cross that we pull into a gas station and say, I need a lighter. I forgot this lighter. We're having this event on the lawn. Or picking up Mexicans and driving them to INS. And they were like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, let's go for it, dude. I was nervous going to a mosque and trying to like mess up their services and try to sell them stuff.
Now, did you get any heat? Did you take any heat for that? Because some of the comments,
it was early.
You're calling people beaners, and then for instance,
it was way pre-woke. So you watch it now, you're
yes.
like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
I'm like, it wasn't the same time period.
Yeah.
But
we live in a very politically correct time now.
Yeah.
A lot of crybabies.
People ask me if I regret it now, but I'm like, no way, because like look at the comments of like for everyone it's like F you, you're an evil, and it's, that's not who I am. It doesn't matter. It's just the point is to piss people off.
Right.
But for every one of those, it's a 14-year-old boy going, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So as a comic, like, of course, that's what I'm trying to do.
And you have the Trump card too. You go,
what?
Jew, Holocaust, 7 million dead. Top that,
Yeah.
you know,
Seven,
call me a
roughly 7 now?
racist, well, you know, whatever the case, you know. So because of that, you can kind of get away. If it were me doing
Sort
that
of.
video,
Yeah, a little bit.
Probably would have.
Well, right.
Be dead.
Well, I try to explain to people like a Jew in a Klan outfit. Like we're not allowed in the Klan. If you can't see the irony, I try to like put in stuff too of like a Jew in a Klan outfit yelling at a Mexican to go back to Africa.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
like can you see I'm joking?
Yeah.
If you can, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving clues in there that that's not me.
Yeah.
It's up to you how mad you want to get.
But you don't pull any punches in your act. I mean, you're a pretty straightforward guy.
Yeah.
You're dirty. You're
I try to piss people off
controversial, I would
sometimes.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like one of the original trolls. I like getting people mad.
Is it harder to work now because you have to admit over the past, I don't know, what is it, 5, 6, 7 years,
Yeah.
people have gotten so sensitive. You know, we live in the call out culture, as people say. And I read a whole article on this that people, they get off on trying to, you know, on calling people out. Oh my God, this person's so horrible for X. They need to be fired. I mean, I don't know where it happened in this world where if someone makes a mistake,
that their job,
their livelihood, their family, their kids.
How does that come into it?
Should all
Well, I
be
can't work at
taken
FedEx
away.
anymore because
you get one shot and that's it. And this article was talking about this girl who was all into it and the call out culture, and she was, you know, she was doing this and she was taking up the cause of blah blah blah, and she was getting people fired and she was getting this and that. And then someone discovered some comments that she had made. I think they were anti-gay comments that she had made in high school.
But by the way, they call out people who did that in high school too.
Yeah. And she got called out, and everyone. So then she lost her job. She this and that, and you know, crying about it.
And I don't support those people losing their job, but it does make you kind of like, haha.
Yeah. But is it harder for you to do your stuff?
No, I don't think so at all. People complain about it a lot, but to me, it's like the zeitgeist move wherever it moves. You know. So like, what is funny because of shocking, like you do an interracial dating joke now, and people are like, who cares?
Yeah.
But in the '60s, they're like, whoa. You know, it's like depends where the society is.
Right.
So like. Yeah, rape jokes are a little harder now, but you can do like child murder jokes all you want. You know what I mean? You just have to look for the pocket and stay in the pocket. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But to me, also, the joy I get as a troll is your anger.
Yeah.
So you know how they teach dogs to like, they replace. So like you get the frisbee, you get a treat. Get the frisbee, get a treat, and eventually they replace the treat with the frisbee. Mm-hmm. So you get the frisbee is the treat. So to me, your anger is my joy. Mm-hmm. So the angrier you get, the more I feel like, I'm doing it.
Have you ever had, I've talked to some comedians here who have had people come up on stage and attack them or throw a glass at them.
Yeah, I've had
anything
stuff
happen
thrown
like
at me
that?
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you dodge, as long as it doesn't hit you, you're like,
and you get off on it. You love it.
Yeah.
Were you always like that as a kid?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Not that trolling.
When did you have this awakening that you like?
It was when I started comedy. Do the Comedy Store, late night at the Comedy Store, when it was like when nobody was there. The Comedy Store was a club in L.A. and nobody came. It was a failing club. And when comedy was like nobody went out to see shows. We had 8 people in shows all the time.
Now, like half of my neighbors are comedians. You know, they have Netflix specials.
Yeah, yeah, it's out there now.
Everyone has one.
But like the only thing you could do for fun is to mess with people.
Yeah. And
we all started to feed off each other.
Yeah.
And these hidden camera stuff we would do, and me and my friend would like sit on Sunset and just try to make people cry. We were just if we could make people cry with ours. We had one lady, me and my friend David Taylor, we got her so mad she started offering people $20 to beat us up. And we were like, nailed it. We got it. We just developed this from these guys who were failing, or like, well then let's enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
And let's take the piss out of the people who we felt were keeping us down. Yeah. Which was like actresses and actors who were like making it in Hollywood. Yeah. And we were these outsiders. We were like, screw them.
The times have changed, hasn't it? I mean,
comedy's now in. Yeah. It's nuts, and I don't like it as much.
It's cheap to produce for Netflix and whatnot. It's cheap.
That part's nice.
People watch it. They know that it does well for them. People watch this stuff.
It's like the problem is people grew up on Dane Cook. Comics grew up watching Dane Cook,
Yeah.
and now like hot guys are doing it.
Yeah.
It used to be the dorks and the losers, and that was the only way. You see these comics, and like, ugh, you guys should all be put down. You look like
there's an oversaturation, I think, and I don't know when the tide will turn or when, I don't know, but it's like I was being serious when everyone has it used to be you had an hour-long special. You were at the upper tier of comedy.
Very few people got special.
Yeah.
At first I was like pissed about how everyone got it, but now I'm like, no, it's like music. 18 albums out a year. Still, a lot of these people are filling up the stadiums,
Right.
Arcade Fire and Van Halen and all these bands are filling up stadiums. So like, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
So if more comics have access,
You don't
to
think
success,
that the quality, the overall quality of the product, like Netflix, for instance, because they got 1 billion of them, doesn't the overall comedy product sort of lower when you have
for sure.
Yeah.
But good quality stand-ups will stand out.
Yeah.
But you look at almost any celebrity comic who's a special on Netflix, and they're garbage.
Yeah.
They take 3 months to prepare. All the great comics in the 90s, they're hobbyists now, and it's sickening.
Yeah.
You watch them and like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
You were great, and now your specials are embarrassing.
They got a bunch of money.
They got a bunch of money. They took it and they sold out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, just because you take the money doesn't mean you can't wait a year and really,
Yeah.
sorry, almost, really prepared, but they won't prepare. They just take the money and go. All these actresses that used to be comics,
Yeah.
get out of here. Whatever, do what you want, be a sellout. But there's real legit comics who are trying hard every day now.
The cast, you said you got a skiing accident. What happened? What happened?
I was racing. I had a hard cast up until, there was 2 months. I had pins in here. I had to have surgery.
It sucks.
I was racing my buddy. I was with Brett.
Yeah.
I'll call him Bert. I'll just call him by his slave name. But
Dude, Bert Kreischer on skis? That's a sight to behold.
Snowboard.
Oh, snowboard.
dude,
okay.
it looks like an avalanche going down the mountain. This fat F traveling down the mountain, filming himself all the time because he can't stop promoting.
With a beer in one hand?
Oh, absolutely.
Shirt off, going down the mountain?
He's like, we did 3 runs. Let's get drunk. Like, dude, we're here all day. We're like, it's 8 a.m. Let's hit the slopes. Like, 8, dude, 12. We're hungover. Oh, we all spent in a hot tub. Me, Bert, Steve Renazzisi, he'll be here from the league. Mark Normand, Sean Patton, who else? And we just hung out. We got this house in Salt Lake, had a ski weekend, a week. Every one of us from sharing this hot tub got some sort of skin disease.
Oh, my God, you're kidding.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Renazzisi had a sty, gave his wife a UTI.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're all itching like crazy. I had to go get steroids on my side to clear up this itch.
So what happened? You just fall?
I was racing my friend,
Yeah.
who I found out later was not racing me. He started and watched me be out of control.
He just has more momentum going down the mountain.
I was out of control. Couldn't turn.
Cannonball. Yeah.
Hit the snowboarder in the back hard.
Oh, man.
Yeah, cracked my.
Was that guy injured too?
Yeah, not as bad. He was pretty mad. He was like, "You didn't see me," and I was like, "Dude, I saw everybody.
I saw you. I just couldn't do it.
It's a white landscape, but you're not a polar bear. Of course, I saw you." And he said, "Why'd you hit me?" I'm like, "That's a deeper question. All right."
Did he know who you were?
No, I'm glad he didn't because
that's
otherwise,
good because he would have sued you.
like that.
Someone just got sued.
What's her
I
name?
don't know who it was. It was
The
like
chick from Iron Man. Penny.
Oh yeah, what's her face? Gwyneth Paltrow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. She just got sued. She did that same thing, hit someone. And of course, it's not the guy might have sprained his ankle, but now he can't have sex with his wife. He has headaches every night, all this crap, and wants $10 million. Once they know that you have some money, they want to sue you immediately.
I just acted like it was way worse than it was, although I didn't realize till later it way worse. It was way worse.
So did you then continue the rest of the day?
I just kept skiing.
Yeah.
And then I tried to put my key in the lock on the way home, and I was like, why can't I turn, I'm like, I got to go to the doctor.
So you had the surgery, you had to have the pins.
Also, the urgent care was like 4 to 6 weeks, and I was like, all right, it's not my jerking hand, so I was like, fine.
Yeah.
And then I went to the doctor. They're like, but see the doctor when you get back home. And I did. And he goes, 4 to 6 weeks? No, you're having surgery, bro. That's 3 months.
Oh, man.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. I had that done on my arm, too. I broke my wrist, and it was...
That's not your main hand either, right?
No, it's not. I was with Charlie, our sound guy back there. Well, not with him, right when it happened. We were in a foreign country. We were in Greece, and I had flown this girl over there. And I just met this girl like a month before.
Fly to Chicago. What? I mean, come on.
No, you got to.
We're dried up, man.
Charlie and I,
2 weeks.
2 weeks in Europe. I don't know if you know this, but
Oh,
these European chicks, they're not like
putting out.
Yeah, we would always hear stories of, oh yeah, they're crazy for Americans over there. They're put out left and right. And,
that's in hostels.
Yeah,
you guys weren't staying in hostels.
No. And so, anyways, I fly this girl over there. It's we come out after night of drinking and everything. Get back to the hotel. I go out on the balcony. We're looking over that whatever that what's that thing called?
Parthenon?
Parthenon, is that what it is? Okay,
Pantheon?
yeah, whatever the hell it is. That famous thing they have over there in Athens. And our hotel overlooks it. It's all lit up. It's
so
nice.
cool.
So we go out there. We're out on the balcony, and we're just gonna have wild sex like 4 a.m. Kind of sex you have with a girl that you just met like a month before, And so she's sitting in a chair, legs spread open. I'm down on my knees, going downtown,
looking for a cigarette.
So it starts raining. All of a sudden, it just starts raining.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm like, all right, I guess we should probably go inside here. And she's like, yeah. So she stands up. She goes, I stand up, and the floor of the balcony was made out of like a marble tile, super slick. It's just a little bit of wetness, and I slipped and right there, and I'm fully naked with a large, monstrous
So you
erection.
had to protect it and fall backwards.
Exactly. And put my hand down, broke it, and so I know what you're going through right now.
You were pointing to the North Star. It sucks.
Ari Shaffir is
Did
here
you
with us.
have sex?
Oh, that's a good. Well, I had to go to no. We went down and we went to the front desk and go. You need to call us an ambulance or tell us. I think we got a cab to go to the hospital. That is a good question. I think when I got back from the hospital, we might have actually had sex at that point, but I don't really recall.
I can see the doctor going, "What's wrong with you?" Like, well, two things now.
Yeah, I don't remember. Ari Shaffir is here
fair.
with us. He'll be at Hilarity Sports 3 Theater tonight and tomorrow, 7 and 9:30. You mentioned Steve Ranazizzi. He's a friend of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the guy that did the 9/11 thing? That wasn't that him?
Yeah.
He said he was in the World Trade Center on 9/11, and then someone figured out. I don't know how they figured this out. They figured out
We think there was a mole or something.
he wasn't in the World Trade Center on 9/11.
He was just uptown New York.
Did he tell? Did you fall for this story too?
Yeah, he told us all when he moved to L.A. and became part of our. He was on our crew, like starting, in the door guy at the Comedy Store. Just failures, all failures, you know. And somebody said, "Were you in 9/11?" Because he just moved, and it was right afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah." And then he says it later. It's like
once that story
you
gets
got
out,
7 seconds to take it back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just true.
Yeah.
And then 7-8 years later, he called us all. This was way before the story came, and he was like, "Guys, I got something to tell you." I was like, "What?" He goes, It was a lie. I made that up. And man, we laughed and we tortured him for 8 months.
Yeah.
We tortured him for so long. And then 7 years after that, the New York Times story came out. Rogan called me. He goes, "Did you hear this thing about Ranazizzi?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "He lied about 9/11." I'm like, yeah, we know about that. That was a long time ago. And he goes, "You knew?" I'm like, "We took care of it." He's like, "How'd you take care of it?" We're like, "We mocked him." And he's like, "How'd you mock him?" We're like, "Mercilessly." And then it was over. But everyone was getting on him like he planned it or benefited out of it. We're like,
Right.
He didn't get anything out of it. He came clean. He stopped talking about it years ago. And everyone wants
at
a
the
piece
time,
of him.
everyone wanted his head, and it is a bad thing. I'm not going to minimize it, but I said that
nothing
I could
happened.
see how this takes place because I remember as a kid I would lie,
Yeah.
and then I'd go to new schools. I'd change schools a lot, and sometimes you'd lie to sort of to impress people. I remember when I was I think it was 5th grade or something.
Yeah. You lie to impress people. That's what you do.
And maybe it's 3rd grade. VCRs weren't only rich people had VCRs at the time.
I remember that. When your parents got one, you're like, wow.
Oh, I didn't have one, but I told people at school that I had a
Montage.
VCR.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's equal to lying about 9/11.
Well, people
have a
go.
VCR.
People about him. They're like, that thing of all things, lie about that. We're like, why do you think that was the only thing he lied about? You think that was the
No,
one?
he's yeah.
Yeah.
So once it's out there, it takes on a life of its own, and it's harder to take back.
Party
than,
at Rover's house.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
the new Michael Jackson.
So would you
Thriller
guys
video.
bust his balls and be like, "Hey, dude, tell me about when you were in Columbine and that school shooting took place?
How was
what
it
was
to walk
that
on
like?"
the moon? Dude, we took care of it. That's the thing. We took care of it. And then the world's like, we want to take care of it. It's like, it's done already.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's one of the greatest guys in the world. So when all this stuff was happening, people were threatening his wife's life.
Yeah.
And we're like, you guys, your punishment level far exceeds. He didn't divert funds away from the rescue. It's like Nothing happened. Just 20 of his friends knew.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So would you see him do interviews and stuff and still have to talk about it?
Yeah, early on he was doing interviews. So like people were like, you did it on Mark Maron's podcast. It was massive. And like, but back then it wasn't massive. It was like this in his garage. Nobody even knew what podcasts were. So it's like, ugh, it's so fucking.
That's fine. That's all right. That's
soft. So you gotta use the podcast too much.
Everyone has a podcast these days.
Yeah.
Now,
Steve does too. Everyone listens to Steve's podcast or mine.
All these comedians, they go on each other's podcasts. But do you ever? I mean, you can't want to go on everyone's freaking podcast all the time. Do you? How do you? But you almost can't say no because you have a podcast, and if you say no.
So I started saying, Joey Diaz told me, he's like, you got to start saying no to these people. Because they tell you, like, want to do my podcast? Like, sure. And then it's like, okay, it's as if you're here. And they're like, it's in Toledo at 6 a.m. You're like, oh, what? You got to drive? Come on. So Joey's like, and I do it. If I don't know you, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But any of your friends, for sure, because they're fun.
Yeah.
So it's really just a way to shoot the S. Look at me.
Hey, look at that.
Me.
He's learning.
Yeah. They're fun, so it's totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have a life too. But comics don't do anything all day.
Yeah.
I've read his easy stuff. Was really unfortunate when that came out. People were because I think you've seen it. People just want to take big people down.
That's what I'm saying.
And so they'll find any way.
They're not actually even upset. I mean,
they're not upset.
It's a wrong thing. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But all the people who complain about stuff, I promise you, if you want to allow me to give the same scrutiny to you that you're giving to me or to someone else, I'll find tons of stuff on you, honey.
So we did this thing on Legion of Skanks where and look at me, I'm lying. I didn't do it. They did it.
Okay.
So Steve said this, and it's true. It's like instead of saying, "Remember that game," because you watched it at a bar, this crazy game, or maybe you watched Buster Douglas Tyson at a bar. Instead of saying that, you say, "I was there."
Mm-hmm.
Just a little change to make it more interesting,
mm-hmm.
and that's all it is. But like. So in Legion of Skanks, they started doing this thing like, all right, what have you lied about? And they start saying the worst things. And it's like, wow, we all have this stuff in our past.
Yeah.
And you just don't think about it. Yeah, if you did the scrutiny on regular people, it ain't going to be good for you either. Look at your tweets.
No matter what it is you're complaining about, trust us. If we were to look at you, you've done things that are terrible that people would be outraged about. And I was called out for the VCR.
Do we really?
Kids figured it out. One kid who was like super rich, he's like, tell me all the buttons on the VCR. And I'm like, well, like play and stop. I'd never even seen a VCR in person. He's like, what other buttons are on there? And I'm like, see, you don't have a VCR.
You're like, no, I'm transferring. That's hilarious over a VCR.
I had to go home to mom and cry and be like, I got to change schools, Mom. Everyone hates me.
And she's like, learn this lesson. Don't lie. Be who you are.
Ari Shaffir.
That's hilarious.
Is going to be at Hilarity's 4th Street Theater tonight at 7 and 9:30.
Yep.
Tomorrow at 7 and 9:30. Here's how you get tickets. Hilarities.com. You can purchase your tickets there. You can there's a fart from Ari.
Oh, it's so quiet.
I tried.
It's like a church mouse.
If I pushed it harder, it would have been solid.
Do you know that someone is actually
Brad's in here?
What's his
Bobby Lee?
Bobby Lee. I would have if you said guess somebody, it would have been Bobby.
Well, Bobby Lee.
Bobby's the fight.
Bobby Lee got up and apparently he has no problem taking his clothes off. So
loves it.
Who did we have? Margaret Cho. So he likes Margaret Cho, and I go, let me show you this video. Margaret Cho was on the show. She took her clothes off, but she left her like thong on.
Yeah. To show her tattoos, and Bobby
she's
wanted
covered
to
in tattoos.
I know.
Yeah. And so Bobby's like, so he gets completely naked. And he sits down right where you're sitting.
And you guys
right there.
What did we do to deserve this?
And so then at the end he gets up and he puts his clothes on, leaves, whatever. And he leaves the studio and we look, there's a skid mark that he left right on that white couch. Just pure S skid mark right there.
You're sitting on it.
Yeah, you're sitting on it today. All right. You can also, if you don't go to hilarities.com, you can get tickets by calling 216-736-4242. Ari?
Bobby and I, we went down to San Diego.
Yeah.
Went to Tijuana. He was like, he's everyone's rite of passage in LA, where you'll come to Tijuana, especially when he's on Matt TV. He's like, I'll pay for a hooker, and you're getting a hooker.
Yeah.
But before that, in San Diego, we both hooked up with these chicks. And he was like, which one do you, where you're like, which one are you going to go for? And I was like, well, you're paying for everything. So you get the hot one, I'll get the gross one. Which, by the way, is a trick because the gross ones are looking to impress you. His hot one, he had to take her to the walk-in closet because it was weird. We're staying in the same room.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't want to do this. And so he sat there with her in the corner looking through this vent from the closet into me, just boning this girl, just railing straight down the line like he sees me entering and exiting her vagina as he's just stuck in there.
All right, this is the life of a comedian.
Yeah, I tried telling him, it's like, you hook up? And I was like, no. He goes, you're lying. I saw your penis go into her vagina. I'm like, well, I did. Yeah, I did.
All right, well, if you're a girl who's not afraid of chlamydia or genital warts or molluscum
like
contagiosum or bam, you have chlamydia. You can go see him at Hilarities tonight, 7 and 9:30. Tomorrow, 7 and 9:30. 216-736-4242 for tickets or hilarities.com. Ari, thank you for coming in, my man.
You. Bert raves about you, so it was cool to meet you.
We made his whole career. I think I'll have to tell you that probably.
With that
this guy keeps adding more shows. Do you know he added? So he's taping his Netflix special here in November. 2 shows on a Saturday night.
He's doing it here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he added 2 shows the night because they sold out in like 30 seconds. Added 2 shows on Friday night. Sold out. They're adding shows on Thursday night.
Thursday now?
Yes. Yeah. This guy, he's making a lot of money now.
Weird thing about Bert is he just put his dog down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, which is sad. But what's sadder is there was nothing wrong with it. He was like, meh, it's time for a new dog.
Yes.
The dog was 8.
He hates dogs, doesn't he?
His dog years, it's like 50.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, yeah, but that's still okay.
Yeah.
He does hate dogs.
So you can direct all your anger. What's his, I don't know what his Twitter handle is.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. Bert Kreischer. Find him on Twitter.
Tell him not to. And he's got a new dog. He says it's not training well. I'm going to put this one down too.
So please start petitions. I would recommend the petition.
If you work at the SPCA, do something to stop killing these dogs.
Yes. All right. Ari Shaffir at Hilarities all this weekend. Thank you, my man. We will be right back. Hang on.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Ari Shaffir is still here in the studio. We were just having a long conversation. He doesn't want to leave. You want to sit down here for a little bit? You want to stay for another segment, Ari? You don't have anywhere to go, do you?
Not really.
I mean, Ari's not in demand, you know. It's not like Bert Kreischer, who's got like TV, you know, like a big comedian like that.
In all senses of the word. Bert Kreischer looks like that guy from the girl from Willy Wonka who ate the blueberry. It just is blowing up.
Do you guys? I don't know if I would be able to handle it. I just watched. I don't even know what it was, but it was something where it was Kevin Hart like going on TV shows.
Yeah.
And he you know, like. You know, that he has a good rapport with, but the ball busting that he does, like with Stephen A. Smith and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
The ball busting that he does. Like, I don't know if I would be able to hang with these comedians who are, it seems like this is just your whole life, would just be ripping on each other like that, you know? Now, the one thing.
Fat-footed Bert Kreischer.
Do you all, I don't like people, I can't stand people like comedians who are always on, though. You know, like, you can be a normal person, dude. You're not on stage. Like, you go out to lunch with someone or whatever, and it's like they're always like, it's like, I can't take it.
It's too much.
Relax.
Yeah.
You know?
Turn it off.
Oh,
There's a story we heard when I was starting comedy, how they were all going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Kinison, Jim Carrey, but coming up, you know?
Yeah.
And they broke down on the way home. And the story was, you know, and then Jim, while we're waiting for our tow truck, Jim was in front of the headlights, just like entertaining all of us and like going crazy. But now that I know comedy, I'm like, the rest of them are probably like, Jim, shut the F up! Shut up! Just, you know?
It's one thing, but you probably have guys that you've hung out with and you're like, settle down.
Take it down a notch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sam Kinison twice. I'll have to tell you the story. I've told it on the air before. My buddy killed Sam Kinison. Yeah. And
what do you mean? He was the one driving?
I was supposed to be in the truck with him. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes, I was supposed to be in the truck with that
What?
kid. And I threw a party at my house that weekend. I was in high school, threw a party at my house. So I go, hey, man, I can't go. They were going to like some mini truck rally or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. And we were in high school. And I'm like, you know what? I can't go. and my two friends were in that truck, and I would have been in the center of. It had a bench seat, like an old pickup truck, and I probably
would have splattered.
Probably would have just gone right through the windshield, I guess, because they hit Sam Kinison head on.
For real? Yeah, he swerved over it, drunk, and swerved over.
Yeah. Now he claims he wasn't really drunk, but
tired. What does he say? Why was he driving in oncoming traffic?
He says that he had a he was passing someone and hit Sam Kinison. At least that's the story that he gave me. And
that's nuts. You know that guy?
Yeah, his name's Troy Pearson. Yeah.
Wow.
And
wow.
He told me that another story that he told me. So Sam Kinison was like supposed to be off drugs and clean and stuff. And he told me that after they got in this accident, that Sam Kinison's brother was behind, or someone, I think it was his brother, was behind in a car behind him. They pull over.
Car LaBeouf.
And went into his car and pulled out like a big thing of cocaine.
Whose car?
Out of Kinison's car.
Okay.
And then put it in his car before the cops got there. And he claims that I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just telling you the story that I got.
I mean, who knows what people do? If it was me and a friend of mine, I would have pulled the cocaine out and then just dumped it on the side of the road. I wouldn't try to frame. I would just get it out of there.
Or throw it in the pickup truck of the guy that just hit your friend. And be like, he's on coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it in his own car to save the cocaine.
Yeah. Or to get it, not to save it necessarily, but to
get it away from Sam.
Get it away from the cops, so they wouldn't suspect that Sam Kinison was
wow,
doing it.
You know that? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm not kidding you. I was supposed to be in that pickup truck.
He probably would still be alive then if you were in there. He probably wouldn't have hit the car. You would have left a second later or a minute later. You would have said, "Can we stop?"
Gee, you know what? That's crazy. I never even thought of that. And I think of that kind of stuff all the time. Like if I delay leaving the house or something, I'm like, what if I was going to get in an accident? Or I'm going to get in an accident. I wouldn't have if I think about that all the time.
If you tried to change a station, he'd slow down. Like, no, man, I want to listen to the station. So now you're 10 seconds behind.
I literally have never thought of that before. You're right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been exactly.
So in other words, I'm responsible for Sam Kinison.
You killed Kinison.
Yeah, I killed
Rover killed Kinison. Guys, hashtag Rover killed Kinison.
Start the petition now.
Start the petition. Let's get him off the air. How dare you?
Wow. Now, Doogie brought up, Ari and I were in here during the break. Ari was going to leave, and then we ended up having a conversation. We got off on a tangent here, and then Doogie came in and goes, Did you ask Ari about Catholics? I go, I forgot. Dieter is like a hardcore Catholic, and apparently I don't know, but I guess you take exception to.
It's crazy to be Catholic in this day and age, to not be another kind of Christian.
Yeah,
to not be a kind of Christian that
the
doesn't
easier kind of Christian.
I don't know, Protestant, anything that doesn't support child rape. I don't. They always. I've been crapping on Catholics for so long, and people are like, well, there's rabbis who molest kids. I'm like, yeah, but then we don't transfer them to other places to keep raping kids. Yeah, we just report them to the cops. There's monsters everywhere, but the people who are supposed to have a connection to God are let's cover this up.
You know what the crazy thing is that this was an institutional problem that they had, and they were called out, whatever it was, 10 years ago, all the big time. They're still dealing with it today. Yeah. It's like they didn't learn their lesson.
They're not. It's not like smoking where you're like, okay, now the word's out. It is kind of like smoking where they kept trying to bury the science. It's like this.
Or a guy who cheats on his wife and he gets caught and he's like, oh, I regret it. I'm never going to do it. And then he gets caught cheating again.
They're still doing it. And they got this great modern pope who's like, we're going to, but then it's still why won't you just condemn it and say we're going to take steps?
Dieter, how do you answer that?
Well, I'm not doing it. And I don't think all the priests are doing it.
No, but it's an institution that doesn't say we're stopping this.
How are they going to stop it?
Say we don't stand for this, and we're reporting you instead of transferring you to Boston and go get some other kids.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I saw that movie, that Spotlight movie, where they show them all transferring over.
It was hot. I jerked off to that.
Oh, jeez.
And what do you think of that? When that's your group you sign up for?
Like I said, not all the priests are doing it.
For sure not. Most are not.
Exactly. And the priests that I know, they haven't been accused of it. Okay. And I still believe in
God.
But
it's the organization.
But why not go Protestant or something?
I don't know. To me, it's just, I don't know what the answer is.
Can I just throw something out there?
Sure.
Do you like child rape?
No, come on, man. Come on, man.
Start a petition.
Start a petition.
Start a petition.
Teacher likes child rape.
Hashtag. Come on.
I would just say, like, try to be a different kind of Christian. There's so many different flavors out there. Just don't be on the one that's like that.
Do you look down upon people that you say you don't believe in God? You used to be Orthodox Jew. Do you look down upon people?
I did for a while, but I'm fine with it now. It's like you need something in your life. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. People who have Christian values are really they're nice people. They're the type of people that hold the door open for you and stuff. So I think it's stupid, but it's fine. It has good effects. If you have a good Christian household, you're probably not going to lose your kid to meth.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
But not the Catholic kind. There's so many other kinds of Christian you can be to not be part of the group that continues to support at the institutional level molestation of children.
They didn't learn their lesson after that Spotlight movie, which chronicles a thing which was like 10 years ago or whatever. They didn't fully learn their lesson.
It's like
that's what he's saying.
You bring this stuff up and people are like, well, there's other people who do this stuff too. And you're like, wait, is your defense other people also rape kids, so it's fine? And that's the normal defense for Catholics. Just switch out. You still got Jesus.
Yeah.
There's another church within the same driving distance to you.
Right.
Are your siblings, are they religious?
Super religious.
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Super religious.
So you're really the black sheep.
We had a rabbi. Oh, yeah. We had a rabbi in my community that there's a thing called a mikvah where women have to take this ritual bath to cleanse themselves after periods.
Okay.
And
that's a new one? I did not know that.
Yeah. For every period or just the first one?
Every period.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
If you're married, yeah. If you want it, until you do, you can't have sex with your husband until you clean up.
Wow.
Yeah. And this one rabbi, probably look it up, I think Wilson, but I'm not sure. But he got caught putting a hole in the videotaping these women getting naked.
Wow.
Yeah, the maid caught them. They were like, how do you like working? She's like, oh, it's so good. I like sweeping and the videotape. And they're like, what? She's like, oh, no. And they're like, what is this? And they caught him, and they just reported him to the cops, and he's doing 7 to 10.
Right.
You don't
They didn't cover it.
it up
They didn't transfer them to...
because it goes against what they believe in.
Aren't
And
there
like,
rabbis that when they give the kids circumcisions, they slurp the blood out?
Yes,
of
they
the
do.
Yeah.
Of the penis, of the baby penis.
Yeah.
And that's like...
it's misconstrued a little bit because it's not sexual. It's just like...
You're taking the
so you
penis
think.
and placing it somewhere, but it's not sexual.
Well, okay, I'll tell you what. It's like
like
saying a gynecologist is finger blasting a chick. When it's like, no, you're
Some
not.
of them may, but I mean...
Right, how long are you lingering? It's this weird thing.
Hold
It's-
on.
I did that to a child, and I was like, well, his penis was just dirty, and I needed to clean it with my mouth.
You don't linger there and
But you're like, oh,
jerk
it's not
off while you're
sexual.
doing
It doesn't
it.
matter if it's sexual or not.
Again, that's a bad one.
Yeah.
It's just the off. It's just the off.
No, but he does have a point, Ari. I mean, that is. I mean,
It
this
looks weirder than it is, but
that's
it's
weird. That's weird.
They're not penetrating him.
That's
It's
very
weird. It's for antiseptic reasons from way back.
Oh, yes. There's nothing cleaner than a human mouth
Saliva.
on a freshly cut penis.
If you drop your contact out on the ground, you don't shove it back in your eye. You stick it in your mouth first and then put it in your eye. I'll give you that it looks disgusting and gross, but they're not like getting off on it, and it's not
that
hurting,
you know
hurting the
of.
kid.
You don't think that any of them might have gone into this? What is
If
this?
it's a
is this
9-year-old,
a
okay.
moil? Is that what it's called?
Moil, yeah,
Moil.
good. It's an 8-day-old baby.
Uh-huh.
It's way pre-sexualized.
No, people molest babies.
Dude, if you change your daughter's diaper and you wipe off her vag, you're not like...
Yeah, but you don't do it with your tongue.
What?
You don't do it with your tongue.
Oh, what? You don't? Yeah, no, it's crazy and gross, and some of them don't, but it's just this weird, like, old thing where they're like, you're still supposed to do it like that. Only a tiny sect of people do it, but it's strange, and they've kind of come off it now. Because one guy actually, here's the reason they came off it.
Yeah.
This one dude had oral herpes. And
he gave herpes
he
to
had
all
an
the babies.
outbreak. He gave to one baby.
Yeah.
Dude, try explaining that to your first girlfriend. Try, be like, what's like? I love you so much. I want this virginity to you. And she goes, I love you. Oh, I got something to tell you. When I was 8 days old, I got blown by a rabbi, and now I have full-blown herpes. Where are you going?
Yeah. It's a tough
Yeah,
story
that's
to
one too, but it's not from the same place.
Yeah.
As like, I'm raping kids over and over again.
Yeah. Well, Dieter,
I don't know.
change your
I would
religion.
just say switch out to like a different kind of Christian that doesn't, at their highest level, support it.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that there's a priest who does it, because that's just you caught that gene, you got that crazy molestation gene. You know, you're a monster, or however you want to put it.
I got to tell you,
my
theory on this is that a lot of these priests become priests because they have homosexual desires, and they believe, because of what they've been taught, that this is a terrible sin.
Sure.
So they enter the priesthood because you're not allowed to have sex with anyone.
So now the sin part goes away.
Yeah, and they're like, but then, this is a thing for a human being not to engage in sexual activity is difficult at best, obviously. And so therefore they get, that's why they do this stuff.
Yeah, because it doesn't go away.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's a real theory. I've heard that before. Because it's like if you're a glutton and you can't stop eating, and you're like, oh, there's a job opening in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
This will do it. I won't have access to food. So they say, it's not just with the molestation; it's with homosexuality mostly.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm homosexual. This is evil. This is wrong. This is taught to me. This has been wrong. So I'll go to a place where I can't have sex with men or women.
Yeah.
So my wrongness literally can't manifest.
They should allow priests to have sex.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You have a wife, have sex. It's just
also
what kind of quality of people do you attract to the profession? If you go, oh yeah, you could be a priest, you get paid diddly squat money, and you can never have sex.
How are you supposed to lead a flock if you don't know what they're going through with marital difficulty? Like, you're giving me marital advice and you've never boned?
Yeah.
You need to know about this to talk to me.
Dieter, I didn't ask you this. Did you have to go because you're Catholic? You were just married recently.
Did you do the pre-Cana?
Did you have to do the whole classes and all that kind of
online?
Oh, that's how they do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was much easier doing it that. I met with my priest a few times, but most of it was just online.
And what did he?
Brendan is real Catholic too. You can talk to him when he comes in here.
You learn about this? You learn anything by speaking with your priest? Did he give you any?
Like he said, how much does he know? And we would ask him a question. He's like, well, the Bible says. He had no experience.
What kind of questions are you asking, by the way?
No, I'm saying whatever I would ask.
I would go in with my potential wife and I would go, whatever he says, you go, yes, you're absolutely right. No questions. Don't. But you
he
were
would
asking
say,
questions.
ask me a question. So you had to come up with something. So it's like, what if you have temptation of another woman? What do you do then? He's just like, well, you ignore it. As the Bible says, just put it out of your mind.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great. Thanks. Great advice. Thank you. Well, now we're all hooking up behind our wives' backs. Wait, let me ask you a real question, because I know you're not a child molester.
No,
and your
you.
priest is almost definitely not a child molester.
Yes.
Same thing with cops are shooting black people, but 98% of the cops are not doing that.
Right.
So
Right.
they must feel the mostly good cops. And Charles Bukowski says that it's like, no, screw that. You're signing up for a crooked organization and not saying anything. You're also crooked.
No,
cop.
I don't think so with cops. I don't believe that.
But why hasn't a cop arrested another cop ever?
Oh, that's a big problem. That is a problem.
They protect their own.
The police.
So it's like you're here to
and when
protect
you
us.
are busted for something, and it's not. I'm not even talking about shooting people, but falsifying police reports, doing things
taking bribes,
and then you're not fired. I cannot, for the life of me, understand that, because
you can't ever do this again. That's it.
98% of the cops are good, and the good cops know who the few bad apples are. They know that, but they cover for them. And I think the reason for that is because they think, you know what? I may get involved in a situation at some point in the future where I make a split-second decision. I'm afraid, I shoot, I do this, or whatever the scenario is. Doesn't even have to be a shooting. I'm afraid, it's split-second decision, very thin margin for error, and I might screw up. And if I do, these are the good cops saying, if I do, I want everyone to back me up because I'm a good guy. I'm not out here to hurt people. And I think that's why they cover for everyone.
That might be true.
My thinking.
I would say if they want that, what they should do is consistently report crooked cops. So then if you do, the society, all the people would go, that was just probably a split-second decision because you guys always do report the bad ones. So you must be a good one.
Absolutely. Words of wisdom from Ari Shaffir.
How do you feel when everyone's crapping on Catholics and stuff?
I get it all the time.
You just have to kind of take it?
Yeah. I mean, it's all atheists on the show except for me, but I'm not going to change. I mean, I deep down believe
Do you really? No doubt.
Yes, no doubt. That's the thing. You're always like, don't you have a doubt?
Because I even look at like priests and stuff, and I'm like, hey, they got some doubt because they, all the stuff they're telling you.
It.
Like, I just don't understand why God doesn't talk to you. Like in the old days, he's talking to the people in the Bible and stuff. Why isn't he appearing and talking to you now?
Because then you know.
No, because then it takes away the leap of faith.
There you go.
But what the hell is the point of that?
I say it's impossible. That the leap of faith doesn't make sense to me because, like, if your parents were Catholic, you're probably going to be Catholic. You're way more likely.
Like your parents, Orthodox Jew? Orthodox Jew.
Probably going to be Jewish. Yeah. The odds of me saying Jesus is my Savior is very low. But if the only way to get to heaven is having Jesus as my Savior, that means you are way more likely to get to heaven than me. And a just God wouldn't make it way more likely for you to get to heaven than me. Mm-hmm. He would make it even for everybody.
And he wouldn't
so this leap of faith doesn't make sense.
He wouldn't wipe out kids in tornadoes and things like that. Rip through a preschool. Oh, God works in mysterious ways.
He wouldn't let the Pope cover up rapes if the Pope was a mouthpiece.
And there's look at all the suffering that happens in the world. I don't know. Theater. Hey, that's your thing. That's fine. Ari Shaffir. Now he's actually leaving.
They should do a swimsuit issue with the Pope and stuff. Like Photoshop him in like sexy poses with young kids around.
Oh,
come on.
Do you guys like the Pope because he's probably radical for like your parents and stuff? You like him?
He's still the Pope.
Yeah. So you do like him?
Yeah.
Okay.
This Pope's a lot better.
No problems with gays and no problems with.
He's more modern.
All right.
But can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
You say priests protect their own, right? Police protect their own. Okay. You were just protecting Steve, your friend from 9/11. It's like protecting your own. He's another comedian. It's almost the same thing. Right away, you're like, no. He didn't do anything wrong.
But here are the differences.
Steve ran he didn't rape a child.
Okay,
Steve admitted nothing happened because of that. No one was hurt over it.
But some people.
But Steve admitted his fault and said, I won't do that again. And these priests have not.
They should.
These cops don't.
They should. Okay.
They should be like, we're going to start arresting these priests, just so you know. We're going to start arresting them because you can't do that to other people.
I agree.
Ari Shaffir is going to be at Hilarities.
Leaving a funny note.
Yeah, there you go. Tonight, 7 to 9:30. Tomorrow, 7 to 9:30. Hilarities.com, 216-736-4242. Thank you, Ari.
Thanks,
we'll be right
guys.
back. Hang on.
Rover's Morning Glory.